Hey, I'm Mike. Today we're going to talk about Multiply, the often used but frequently misunderstood blending mode in Photoshop and Mega Studio. It's super useful, and hopefully when you're done watching this you'll have a better understanding of it. This video is part of a series. I'm doing a little video telling you what and how you can use every blending mode with respect to editing your own art, creating art, painting, comic book making, making art, and not necessarily photo manipulation. Although if you do that, some of this stuff is going to apply. So, what is Multiply? The textbook thing of Multiply is that the RGB values of the set layer, that is to say the layer that is set to multiply, are multiplied by those on the layer below. This is important because unlike a lot of the blending modes, which you're going to put on top of Multiply, you can actually set your like this painting is a scan of this James Hetfield piece that I did, and I'm going to show you how you can actually set that layer to multiply and then make edits if you need to. So you're going to be it's used for rendering. It's used for adding darker areas of shadow, and how that works is pretty simple. So I have a layer on top, and I have this layer, the scan layer is just set to normal. So if I have the layer on top and I set that layer to multiply, and then I get out like a flat brush. So a flat brush is just going to be just a brush. We're not going to make any art here. I'm just going to show you what happens. And I have it set to kind of a light pink color, and you're going to see that, or you're going to see the color change shift to light pink, but all the pixels below are going to get darker, and so it's going to maintain some of that below. This is very, very useful if you are just recoloring an area and re-rendering or adding a little bit of contrast to an area. You don't necessarily want to use a flat brush like this, but you're going to maintain all of the original artist's work. Comic book colorists do this a lot, where they have line art on top, not necessarily fully rendered something like this, but they did that happens too. Sometimes an artist will tone everything in black and white, and then you can go in and add color in different modes, color mode, multiply mode, what have you. So this is a way to bring things together, to kind of unify things, and to add darkness. Now, another way you can use this is, like I was saying with comic book making, or even if you're doing web design or whatever, if you set this layer to multiply, the layer itself, it's not going to change at all. There are no other pixels on this blank layer below for it to have that calculation with. But if we leave this same value here, it's going to look very different. So let's just say we wanted to render James's face here. Like instead of it being this ink wash thing, we wanted to paint it. We wanted to really add some shadows. So he'd have some kind of cheek thing here, and I mean, clearly you don't want to do this with this brush. That's a bad idea. But this plane of this face is like this, and maybe this here. But you can see that as you go underneath, no matter how dark you go underneath, if you go too dark, it's just all going to look black. But as you go underneath, you're maintaining the look and the integrity of everything there. You're just sort of adding shadow. So you can think of it this way. However, the closer to white the pixels are, the more transparent they're going to be, and the more whatever you put down is going to be exactly that way. But you will darken any pixels that are there. And you can use it, you could use it to, if you wanted to change this thing underneath and create a, some kind of outline, crazy outline, but not overwrite any of the pixels. That's one way that you can do it. So that's Multiply. It can be used so many different ways. In animation, cel-shaded animation is often used with a Multiply layer to kind of tie the colors together. But it's super useful for rendering and not destroying your art. I mean, of course I could get a paintbrush and go over the top of this, and I mean, if I wanted to make this a little darker, I could come in here and I could start to paint, but it's very quickly going to become a digital painting and have nothing to do with the original work. So this is a very non-destructive way, unless you go very, very, very dark. When you put black under here, is that mode? No, it's not on multiply. Or this is on multiply. If you put black under here, it will turn all of those pixels black. So that's something to be weary of. Try and preserve your light pixels. And there are other blending modes if you want to make sure you never overwrite any of the light pixels, like darken or something like that. But that is, in a nutshell, the basics of Multiply. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to do videos on all of these, and if you have a question that you want me to answer via a video, please put it in the comment section. Okay, thanks guys. See you soon.